And today's topic is, let's see if we can do this. Visualization not working?
Yeah, visualizing not
Oh,
working.
visualizing not working? It's because you're doing it backwards.
Yeah. All right. So here's a new thing that we haven't talked about before specifically. And it's, people talk about the law of attraction and, manifesting things for themselves, the secret, all of that. And they talk about visualizing, which sounds like a great idea. The idea of it, to do it properly, is supposed to be that you imagine what you really want, and you imagine like you've got it now in the present tense,
right,
and you feel it. And this is what all the, most of the main teachers of The Secret and the Law of Attraction, using the subconscious mind, people like Joseph Murphy, who Chip Brown reminded me of yesterday. All of these people talk about visualizing. Another one is, what's his name? He does.
Sounds like. What's he do?
No, his name's like Norman or Ned or something like that. He's from the 60s. Anyway, excellent, really excellent teacher. Yeah. He's got some fabulous lectures and everything. And it's all about visualizing the future as if it's in the present, which sounds like a great idea.
And I know that both, you and I have done
it.
We've done a lot of that. I've spent a lot of hours.
Right. And it seems like a great idea, but it is hit and miss.
It's hit and miss.
So it works sometimes with some things for some people, and it depends. So what does it depend on? You don't know? I don't know. I was hoping somebody would know. No, I'm kidding. It depends on what you've got in your subconscious as proof of what is. So, for example, if I, visualize, I've got abundance. I've got lots of money, abundance. Now, if I don't have proof in my subconscious that that's either not the way the world is, that's not who I am, or it's dangerous to have money, that'll be great. Then I'll end up with money, and that's fantastic. But if I've got contradicting proof in my subconscious in the form of childhood memories that either that's not who I am, that's not how the world works, or it's dangerous to have money, I can visualize till I'm blue in the face, and nothing will, I won't, because the subconscious will be in the background going, no, I have proof that that's not true. That's not safe, or that's not the way the world is. So visualizing, the reason we say you've been doing it backwards is because instead of visualizing the future as if it's in the present, visualize your past as the way you would like it to be. So in other words, if you want abundance now, if you want lots of money now, change your childhood memories to where your family was wealthy, where you were surrounded by wealth, and wealth was a happy, healthy thing to have. And then instead of visualizing the future, visualize the past, practice the new memories as if they're real. That is the way to do it, because then you're changing the proof and evidence in your subconscious.
Yeah, and I was just going to jump in. It makes a lot of sense. And that was really what I was dealing with, because I had those subconscious programs. I had those old references, those old memories of, knowing that it was not safe to have money. And I know that, we've talked about that before here on this forum, but, I remember as a kid hearing my dad talking in a really derogatory way about those rich bastards' cars that he was working on. So I knew it wasn't safe.
That's right.
I knew it wasn't safe to have money because my dad wouldn't love me.
Well, you didn't know. But your subconscious, that's the thing, is that we consciously were unaware of these things.
Right, exactly.
And that's why it's so difficult to change them consciously, or impossible to change them consciously, because it's in the subconscious. And we have no idea what the subconscious is.
So as I'm sitting there for hours and hours visualizing having abundance and having wealth, there's still this little program that's running in the back, that happened when I was a very small child that said it's not safe. It made the link that it's not safe to have money. Yeah. So I'm going to continue to do things, see things subconsciously that are going to keep me in alignment with that that earlier program.
That's right. So you need to, the time you spend visualizing the future, visualize the past, the new version of the past, as you would like it to support what you want in your future. So another example is someone who wants a relationship with the ideal woman. So I spoke to someone recently who, he would love to have a relationship with, and he's got an idea of the kind of woman he would like to be with.
Mm-hmm.
But in his past, he has childhood memories of his mum, who is the complete opposite to that ideal woman. And the relationship between his parents was the complete opposite of the relationship he would like. So he can visualize this wonderful woman, but his subconscious will constantly be referring to his childhood, to his parents, going, that's not that's not the truth. That's not real. You need, this is the way a relationship should be, and this is the kind of woman that you should be with. Now, if he goes and changes those childhood memories to make his mum the way the ideal woman is, and to make the relationship between his mum and dad the way he would like a relationship, in his childhood memories. We can't change the past, obviously, but changing those childhood memories the way they're represented, and then he practices that instead of visualizing the future. He's visualizing the ideal past. Then he doesn't even need to visualize the future, because it'll naturally, his subconscious will naturally keep him in alignment with that information, with that proof, that evidence. Oh, and very importantly, just to reiterate, because the subconscious doesn't know the difference between reality and imagination, and it doesn't have the ability to judge something as unrealistic, it will believe whatever you give it. So you can change your childhood memories and then practice the new ones. And we do other videos about that. Yeah.
And there'll be links, below, where you can find out more information about
how to do that
through Faster EFT, and why you should do that. But I was just going to jump in and add, that those early memories, those childhood memories, it's just another way of saying the same thing that you're already saying, but they build the foundation.
Yes.
They lay the foundation of who we are, what we believe about ourselves, what we believe about the world.
Yeah.
And that everything else gets built on top of that.
Yeah. They support our beliefs. They provide the proof and the evidence for those beliefs. Whether the information is true or not doesn't matter.
Exactly. Yeah. And going back and changing how our subconscious holds those
changing
memories.
The proof and the evidence. Yes,
automatically changes everything.
And you mentioned a great thing this morning.
Oh yeah, this is really, this method, that we were talking about this, and I'm going, oh my gosh. This is really Back to the Future.
Yeah.
If you think about Marty McFly and Doc Brown,
yes,
this is what we're doing. You're going back, you're focusing on changing up the past
in whatever way you want to experience the present and the future.
And then as you do that, you don't have to focus on what's going to happen in the future, because it will have automatically changed.
Exactly. Isn't that brilliant?
It is.
We need to watch those movies again.
I know. Yeah.
now that we know all this, we need to watch the movie again.
I'm hearing the music playing in my head. So this is a way for you to actually go back to the future. Hop in your DeLorean, go back to the future, and change your present.
Yeah. So visualize the past, the ideal past, not the future. If you want, effective changes.
Yeah.
Consistently.
So the other thing that I was going to mention, that it fits in perfectly with this. We didn't necessarily work it this way, but it works in perfectly. You just did that video. We'll put a link in for the video, but you did an excellent video this week on doing kind of a meditation to kind of help people actually go through this process of rewriting their childhood. And not only your childhood, but your parents and your grandparents' childhoods.
Yeah. So that it's a kind of knock-on effect. So the meditation, we'll post, if you want to post the link.
Yeah, I can start doing that.
So the meditation takes you through from your grandparents on both sides. I do one at a time, from them as little children, because if they had been raised differently, they would have become different people, and they would have been different parents to your parents. And then if your parents had been raised differently, they would have been different parents to you, and your childhood would have been different as well. So, and because the subconscious doesn't know that that's not real, You can change it. So what you do is you go through that meditation. When you come to a sticky point, when you come to a point where you can't, do the visualization, either, you have arguments in your head, well, that's not the way it was, or other memories come up, you have proofs that come up from memories that wasn't the way it was. That's when you stop, you pause, you use fast EFT to change whatever's there, change the memory, and then do it again, and keep going until you can play that whole meditation through and it feels perfectly real. And then you practice it and you will surprise yourself. Oh, you said something else this morning that I thought was really important.
Happy birthday.
Apart from that, that was really important, because you said, well, what I want to say is prove it. That's what you said to me.
Oh, right. Yeah. Because I'm imagining what it's like, for people that are like maybe hearing this thought for the first time. It's kind of like, prove it. Go ahead.
Go ahead and prove it. I thought that was an excellent.
Is there proof that this works?
That's right. So I thought that was an excellent point to bring up, because you won't be the only one. There will be other people saying that. And my answer is, you prove it. You prove it to yourself. I've proved it for me already. And why wait for evidence from other people when you can do it yourself and enjoy the results in the meantime? So while you're waiting for somebody else to prove it, or evidence or scientific evidence or anything, you could be enjoying the results, because it doesn't cost anything. You don't have to pay anything. It doesn't take much time, certainly not more time than you've already spent trying to change things. And it certainly doesn't take a lot of effort. It doesn't take any physical effort at all. So basically, it's just experiment with it and see what happens. And then you enjoying it for yourself. There's no risk. It's not, if there's a risk or something, then of course you would want to wait for scientific evidence. But this is just you inside your own head.
Excellent. I'm just running through here to make sure we have, if there's any questions. Lisa says, I love it. I was a rich kid, loved and appreciated kid. Yes.
Very good.
Yeah, lots of happy birthday wishes from
Thank you,
everybody.
Everyone. Thank you very much.
GMAC loves your coffee mug.
Oh, yes. So this was my first birthday gift this morning that I woke up to from Steve, and it's got a lid on it. I wanted a coffee mug with a lid on it so it keeps it hot, and it's fantastic. It's working brilliantly.
Yeah,
I do love it.
And Barbara asks, is it as simple as that? You sit down and create new memory, or first have to cleanse the facts from your past? Question mark.
Right. Good question, Barbara. Thank you for asking it. So the end goal you're aiming for is to have a new childhood in your subconscious. So consciously, you'll always know what really happened. But so we're changing memories in the subconscious. And because the subconscious doesn't know the difference, it only goes by what memories it has as proof. So you write the new memories. Now, where you then what you do is, when you can't write a new memory, when something happens, like you say, right, my family was wealthy, and then you have visions, you have memories come up of, your mum struggling to pay for groceries or whatever. That's when you stop. You use fast EFT to tap, change or do whatever method, change the memory to where it's in alignment with that new childhood, and then move forward to the next thing, and just keep doing that. What any memories that come up, thoughts that come up, beliefs that come up that are contradiction to the new childhood, that's when you stop, you tap, you use fast EFT, you change it, and then you move forward. So hopefully and then you practice the new memories. Of course, you practice that new childhood as much as you can.
Yvonne says the meditation is excellent.
Oh, good. I'm glad you like it. Very good. Thank you for the feedback.
Yeah, I'm just looking here, see if we have any other questions popping up. Happy birthdays.
Thank you.
Roxana, I did sing happy birthday at the very beginning, so you'll have to you have to replay.
Thank you, Roxana.
Let's see. GMAC, when flipping childhood memory, where does the future resistance that is worked on in art of change process, or can we flip practice and not be concerned about resistance?
Not sure I quite understand that, but as far as resistance goes, it depends on what kind of resistance it is. So if you are, you think about the new thing, the new memory, and you've got logical arguments coming up saying, oh, well, that couldn't have happened because I've never been to Spain, or I've never seen my father smile, whatever it is. That's logic. So that's conscious resistance. And the way to deal with conscious resistance is to use logic and reason, because the conscious mind uses logic and reason, the subconscious does not. So you use logic and reason with that by saying it doesn't matter because my subconscious doesn't know the difference. So you reassure yourself in that way. And on our website, in our blog, if you go to our website and go to the blog, there are a couple of blog posts there that will help with that. There's some ideas of logic and reason you can use to argue against that. If it's that memories pop up, so let's say I'm thinking about, like I used the example, my family's wealthy, and something comes up, a memory of my mother crying because she couldn't pay the bills, or me having, maybe I didn't have shoes, or whatever it is, those memories come up. That is subconscious resistance. And all that is it's because the subconscious has these memories as proof. So then you just change those memories, which changes the proof. And you keep doing that until you can play it through, and there's no interruptions.
Okay. Yep. And I think, and GMAC, yes, is thank you. Yeah.
Very good. You're very welcome. All right. So we better end this now. We've got Faster EFT Friday coming up.
I've posted the links to Faster EFT Fridays up there earlier.
Fantastic. So it would be lovely to have you join us if you're available.
And I think, the other links to Robert's.
Oh, I also wanted to mention our Tuesday evening.
That's new.
You can get that information on our website, and I maybe will post a link.
Yeah, Tuesday evening, 6 p.m.
Central Time
to 7:30 p.m. Central Time. We do a live meetup here locally, and we're figuring out the technology to be able to bring everybody in on those.
Yes, so you can join us virtually.
Yeah. Virtually, through Zoom on a Zoom call. So you just need to register for that, get the link, and you can join us on Tuesday nights as well.
All right. So thank you very much, everybody. And of course, post your questions and comments below the video in the comments section, and we will answer them when you post them. We love answering questions. So.
And happy birthday.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Bye, everybody.